13 or 14 miles, you can find shade. Oh yeah.
Hey friends, this is one of these older videos I've been promising that I would bring you. And this particular one is from southern Utah. It's from part of a trip out west, Route 66, and then a big detour around some different places. And this is where in the trip things started to get weird. We're in an area we had never been in before, and we learned a lot, and I hope that you learn a lot by coming along with us if you're not from that area or had never been to that area yet. There are days that things go simple and everything pretty much goes right. This was a day we were going to look for dinosaur tracks. This is maybe 20 miles from Zion National Park. We had GPS coordinates from the internet from a couple of sites. We punched these things in. We thought it would be interesting to go find this. It turned into a day that we did not expect, to say the least. There was a lot of great scenery, but GPS Gina, she got even with me.
Lava rock.
Remember the red flowers? You don't see them very often.
I hope you found one.
Yeah, it's on the list.
See, this is why the velociraptors hang out in here. Because it's green, there's vegetation. And the other dinosaurs, the vegetarian ones, could feed up here. And then the velociraptors could feed on them.
That makes sense.
The circle of life, baby.
Okay.
Let's see how good we are at hopping across ledges.
Oh, shit!
On a serious note, this is probably the furthest from anything I have ever been in my life.
Me too.
There is nothing and no one and no houses and no animals. That is one man-made fence. My first thought was, it's not going to rain. Why are you all lying down? My second thought is, why are you still here? Because your fence is completely gone. And you seem to have no desire to leave. This has been an interesting little trip with beautiful scenery so far, but this is where things start to go wrong.
Navigate off-road.
Gina, we've been off-road the last 15 miles. We can't get much more off-road than this. And where you think there's a left-hand turn, there is not. 15 miles into this, Gina says, do this. Turn left. I've been lost before, but lost where we come from means you turn around, you go 2 miles back to somebody's house and you ask.
Turn left.
Unless Chief Whitehawk has a talking cow out here, there is no one to help us.
I'm going to throw some quick pictures in here because I want you to see this area and how beautiful it is. We were just so far away from anything that was normal to us. At this point, we are at least 20 miles from another human, and we don't know where to go. We ended up going down this road a little further. We run into this thing called the Honeymoon Trail. You can see the signs, and it has these warnings. You need mass amounts of water. You need several days worth of food. You need this and you need that. But the kicker was you need a minimum of 2 spare tires. Obviously, this was our sign to turn around, go back down the road, and see if we could figure out where our GPS was leading us astray.
And again, this is punched coordinates. So she's just doing the best she can to get from road to road to road to shortest path, quickest path, whatever. GPS Gina has completely given up. No pink line at all. No effort to recalculate. Yeah. This is where she wants us coming up. This is where she wanted us to leave the road again to get on another. Don't do that, see?
Yeah. She's not even saying turn right. But the road does have
But I'm trying to just look at what's here and see why she thinks there would be a road here. Because I don't see a remnant of where there ever would have been a road right here.
Now we're 17 miles away. Did we pass it?
And our GPS keeps bouncing. We can literally go 100 yards and it's saying 2.7 miles, and then it's saying 17 miles, and then another couple hundred yards of driving and it's back to being 2.5 miles, and we just aren't understanding why this is happening and why it's having so much trouble routing us to this road that we need to be on to get to the Dinosaur Tracks site. The question is, have you figured it out yet? Because we didn't until someone explained it to us.
We were 2 miles from something. This is the road. She's confused.
She thinks
this is the road.
Well, no Honeymoon Trail though.
Yeah, we know.
Was back over through there. So she's.
Well, now we're down to 3 miles.
Whoa! There's a little chipmunk.
Chipmunk?
Chipmunk out here.
Hello again.
Oh, you wonder why we're laughing. We have this. She thinks this. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, she says 2.7 miles, 2.9 miles, and the road's gonna hook.
Unless this jerks back into that somehow.
We're just cutting across the...
Oh,
We're getting closer though.
Oh well.
2.5 and 2.5.
Yeah, but it's getting rougher here too. It's looking worse and worse, Cindy. I mean, right here, I know I have a place to turn around. Up through there, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah.
That's why this is here.
You win, we give up. Now I understand why they refuse to leave. Why they refuse to walk out of an open gate and take off out through here.
40 miles anywhere.
They know.
So here's the explanation on why this didn't work and why my Garmin GPS was having just a heck of a hard time pulling this off. When we finally gave up and left, about a mile down the road, we ran into the farmer, rancher, that owned those cows that you saw, the only other living thing out there. And I asked him about the fence gate being down, and he said, look man, Their water supply is there. They aren't going anywhere because that is the only place they can get water, which makes perfect sense, but is just odd for us people coming from the east. The next thing, we explained where we were trying to go to, and he started laughing, and he said, well, you're on top of it. I said, what do you mean we're on top of it? He said, well, you can't get there from here, and this is why your GPS is going nuts trying to reroute you. He said, because it's right under where we are, but you're dealing with levels here. He said, you're on this top level, and where you want to go to is here. He said, it is only a mile or two away from here, but you can't get here because you would be falling off of a cliff to get down to that level. He said, so really what you're going to have to do in order to reroute yourself back around and get on the roads that you need to get to, even though this thing is a mile or two away from where we are on this level, it's going to require about 40 miles of driving to get back around and get on the correct level where this is. And since it was getting late in the day by this point, we simply gave up, something I don't do very often. I tend to be a very persistent person, but there have been a few things on different adventures where I just, after several hours, I just gave up, and this was one of those times. So with that said, we're mixing in some of these old videos with some newer videos of being camping and doing things in the South. We have a lot of how-to videos coming up, a lot of things I think that are going to appeal to different people. Everything we do on this channel may not appeal to you, but trust me, eventually we're going to get back to something that you're going to be interested in. Down in the description and in the comment section of this video are links to other recent videos, so you can look at those, and if you missed something that may interest you, go ahead and watch those, and we'll see you next time.